we're coming to you from APATS 2025 here in Singapore. I have Mitch Fox with me. He's the director for the Asian Center for Flight Safety. Mitch is an aviation veteran. We were just talking about how lovely some of the airplanes that he flew with, 757, the A320. Mitch, thank you for the time.
Thank you for having me, Atul.
Pleasure, Mitch. Mitch, so if you can just give us, an insight into your keynote address today and some of the important aspects that you discussed with our audience.
I'd be pleased to. First off, I represent the Flight Safety Foundation, which is an international, independent, and impartial advocate for aviation safety worldwide. And we conduct a number of studies throughout the year, taking a look at pertinent safety issues and make recommendations to help to strengthen aviation safety. The Asia Pacific Center for Aviation Safety is a branch office of the Flight Safety Foundation and was formed as a center of thought leadership to take a look at important safety issues within the Asia Pacific. One of the issues that we looked at early on was doing a deep dive into aviation safety in the Asia Pacific. And before I begin that, let me just say this is a very safe region, has an excellent safety record, but it's always about leaning into safety to improve safety. So when we took that deep dive into aviation safety, we identified a few challenges. One of the challenges that we identified, which is also a challenge worldwide, is the implementation of upset prevention and recovery training as one of the primary mitigations for loss of control in flight. Loss of control in flight in the region is an issue. There have been about 5 accidents that have occurred, 4 of which have been fatal. Now, loss of control in flight accidents are very rare occurrences, but when they do occur, typically they're very fatal. When we looked at a period between 2017 and 2023, it accounted for about half of the fatalities in the region, which raised the priority at looking at the issue. As we studied the implementation, this required an engagement, a true partnership with the airline community, the pilots in the region, the approved training organizations, and the regulators in the region to get a deeper understanding of where we stand in terms of upset prevention and recovery. So overall, the region has made commendable progress since the introduction of the ICAO guidance material on UPRT in 2014 until today. About 87% of the airlines have excellent programs in implementing upset prevention and recovery training in initial, recurrent, and qualification training. But we did show some challenges. Pilots show a remarkable confidence in their skills, but the challenges that we identified were threefold, I would say. One was most of the airlines and the pilots and the ATOs are looking for regulatory guidance to standardize curricula, to standardize the training methods. And while the UPRT guidance has been available for about a decade, we found that many of the regulators are struggling to publish their own guidance material. So that's one challenge. The second challenge that I would point at is that the airlines and the approved training organizations are challenged to keep up to speed with the capabilities of the flight simulators. And this requires investment. It also requires a little bit more use of on-airplane training for upset prevention and recovery training at the ab initio level. And I would say that the final challenge that we see that has been identified by both pilots and airlines alike is a steady degradation of manual flying skills. Now, automation in airplanes is fantastic. And what we've seen with the introduction of envelope protection in airplanes is during the period of time since envelope protection was introduced, we've seen about a 10-fold improvement in aviation safety and decrease in the accident rate. But at the same time, we need to be proactive in all of our aviation safety areas. So what we've seen is the emergence of what I would call the flight path management concept. And the flight path management concept is considered to be in 4 areas: manual flight skills, pilot monitoring skills, automation management to address automation complacency, and energy management. Now, the FAA introduced some guidance in that area and 23 recommendations, I should say, that have been embraced by major regulators, but haven't necessarily been fully, let's say, promulgated by authorities within this region. So my presentation was a call to action. And the call to action was to work together in a collaborative effort to, number one, take a look at the implementation of UPRT. Also, take a look at and work together in developing some guidance material for the Asia Pacific on flight path management. Guidance material of this nature for the Asia Pacific for both regulators, airlines, and ATOs cannot be developed in a vacuum. It needs a collaborative effort, and my call to action was for the professionals in this region to get together to advance this with the assistance of the Flight Safety Foundation over the next year's period of time.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mitch, for those wonderful insights. I just also want to understand from you the experience you've had with APATS over the years.
Oh, my goodness. I've been a speaker frequently at Watts. I'd like to congratulate Halldale. This is an incredible gathering, and it brings aviation training professionals together in a really vital way. My last recollection, I have to say, of speaking at a Halldale event was Watts in 2014, as we were starting to introduce the ICAO guidance material on upset prevention and recovery training. And that conference was a pivotal event in rolling out that guidance material to the community.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mitch, for your time.
Thank you, Atul.
And we hope you enjoy the content we're bringing to you.